This is the final roundtable discussion of we had the last two speakers. So we started with what's called the Super Mini, and Danny has shown that speaker before in a previous Tuesday Tech Talk. I'll link that down below. And then we moved straight for the jugular, and we checked out
the line forces,
the big boys, the line forces,
the flagship.
So we saved. Did we save the best for last? That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Did we? Were they the best?
Let's start with the Mini, though.
Let's do the minis. So,
and also we should start by saying those models are available at the moment. Those were all using the formerly the BG Neo-10s that haven't been on the market for a while. There hadn't been any sold since August, and I'm diligently working on having some new versions of that made. And if I'm successful in having them made correctly, I will relaunch those products.
Yeah.
But for now,
there are a bunch of them out there. People who built them when they were available.
Yeah.
They're loving them, but.
Yeah. So Danny has a handle on the Neo 3. The problem child right now is the Neo 10.
Yeah.
Is the problem child.
Yep.
But you're working diligently to try to get one manufactured for GR. Your specs.
Yes.
Quality control, get it right. Let's get this thing sounding good.
We'll see what happens.
So stay tuned for that. So the Super Mini, interesting speaker right out of the gate. The first thing I wanted to mention is we finished last night listening to this 300B amp that Tyson ruined Danny with, and we started our impressions with the 300B plugged into the Super Minis. And John and I both agreed right away that when we made the switch to the little chip amps, we preferred the chip amps to the 300Bs. And you feel the same way on the Super Minis as well?
Yeah, I think I prefer the chip amp a little bit. There's still 300Bs still do a little something special in that vocal region, but the chip amp to me won out on that speaker.
Yeah.
And it was on that speaker.
Yeah, and we should qualify for those that don't know what the heck we're talking about. What is a chip amp? It's literally a chip.
There are no parts.
There's no parts. It's just
it's the bare basics of an amplifier.
Yeah. Yep.
And then maybe describe the Super Mini to those who aren't familiar with how it's built.
Yeah, it is our GR Neo 3 at the upper section of it, and a Neo 10 below, which is only 5 inches wide. So it's a very narrow, 5.5 inch wide baffle with side wings to do the front to back wave separation, and it's all an open baffle. So there's not much there as far as surface reflections. It's super transparent. It's really fast.
Yeah.
And it needs something below it for 180 hertz and below. We've got a little stack of servo subs. There's some 8-inch servo subs that we're using with it that are basically playing mid bass.
Mid bass, yeah.
Yeah, all the way down to, we're rolling off the bottom, and then we're adding
the big boys,
triple servo subs at the very bottom. And so yeah, it's kind of a speaker. It's like the upper section of a speaker that at some point will be a little full floor standing version if I can ever get these Neo 10s done.
Yeah.
So I would say this. I would say of all the speakers I've heard, if I was to say what does, in my opinion, what speaker has the most revealing signature sound, it would be that speaker. I think that I heard about anything and everything on that speaker that you could hear in any recording.
Yeah.
And there's nothing harsh about it.
No.
It's just very, very revealing, a ton of clarity, a lot of air and a lot of speed in the upper registry that I think you just get out of those Neo drivers that are just amazing.
Yep.
And so that was my first impression. And then when we switched to those chip amps, I felt like it opened it up.
I remember you saying that.
It got a little bigger, got a little wider, got a little deeper, and super, super impressive little speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I would actually echo pretty much every comment there. Specific stuff that stood out to me as we were listening is really anything acoustic, anything. I liked any drums on those. Like, we're talking like cymbal hits and splashes and crashes.
Yeah.
The decay and, the attack of the note and then everything that comes after the note. Man, those were insane.
Yep.
like
Hard piano keystrokes.
yes, yeah, exactly. We were doing, I think, Nora Jones, and there were some piano keys that were just like that speaker, in my opinion, can take you to the edge of the cliff of clarity. It's like this is getting to like the extremes of it's pushing the envelope.
Yep.
So yeah, nice little speaker.
Then we drug the line forces in.
No, you drug the line forces in. You wouldn't let us drag those in.
Yeah, I moved them in. Yeah, different kind of speaker. Sensitivity shoots way up.
Yeah, what is the sensitivity on
We're
this?
at 98 dB sensitivity.
98.
Because I had to ask questions, Danny, I think it would be cool for folks who don't know what a line array is, just to give us an overview of what a line
it's a
array is.
continuous line of drivers. There's 6 of the Neo 10s and 16 Neo 3s in a line, and it's an open baffle and super transparent. It puts things within the room instead of sounding as if you're hearing it from the speaker forward. It's a very transparent sound, super fast. Again, 98 dB sensitivity. So with a 10 watt chip amp or a 9 watt 300B amp, you could get all you wanted out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plenty of output.
But you didn't need anything on mid bass because those Neo 10s are playing down pretty low.
Yeah, they're crossing somewhere in the 160, 180 range to the servo subs. And
Servo subs can meet them.
Yeah, just turn the dial up and bring it right up to the level. So,
Okay.
yeah, not a problem.
Do you want to go first on this one?
No.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, so this one I wasn't, I didn't know what to expect because the extremes last night I felt ruined me, as I mentioned in that review. And when I heard I'm the worst with names, the small ones.
Super minis.
The super minis.
Yeah.
Got a phone call. When I heard the super minis, I was like, okay, these are revealing, not as robust, not as rich as I heard in the extremes. And so I thought to myself, okay, maybe that's going to be the signature sound to the line forces.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. I was dead wrong. It has everything that the minis have, but it adds depth and richness and power.
Yeah, a lot of dynamics.
All the dynamic stuff that I was missing a little bit out of the minis, they had it in spades, and it was honestly, it's the new level for me in terms of listening to speakers, and I'm gonna take them home with me. Whoever bought them, I'm sorry. No, they're great. These speakers. And I'll get a little more specific. The things that I love the most about these speakers is there is absolutely a center image that is pinpoint. The vocals, I heard no grittiness around any vocal, whether it be a female, male, soprano, alto, bass, tenor. It didn't
Baritone.
matter.
Yeah.
It was perfect. The vocals were as perfect as I've ever heard any speaker present them. The center image is wide. I was sitting next to Ron and Danny at times, and I could still kind of get the feel of being in the sweet spot with certain instruments, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. Like Ron said, with all the instruments that provide that decay and those fast hits, it's there with the speaker. But then you get those kick drums, you get those low chorale voices coming in some of the tracks, bass guitars. It's all rich and live and powerful, and I can't get enough of those speakers. So there's my spiel.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I follow that? Thanks, bro.
It's funny. Just a quick side note. I order first at restaurants too, and what do you say, bro?
I'll just have what he
I'll
said.
get the same. That sounds good. So I guess that's the end of the round table. I guess that's it.
Go ahead. You have a better way of describing this
That's
than I
true.
do.
So yeah, I would start by saying those speakers, the line forces, redefine what I thought hi-fi was. I would lead in with saying it redefined what I thought before coming here and hearing those. Now there's a new bar, and there's only been a couple of times in my hi-fi journey, whatever you want to call it, where I hear something that I actually kind of shut down. I can't comprehend that it's as good as it is. And to piggyback off of what John said, the very first thing that stood out is those vocals are, no other speaker that I've ever heard, period, has done what these do. It's so realistic. It's actually frightening realistic.
You know what it felt like? Sorry to cut you off. It felt like being in a concert, live concert, with nobody around you to mess it up, who are singing with the artist.
You're alone.
You were alone
They're
in
singing,
a concert.
It's so realistic to hear whoever's singing up to the mic and to hear every little nuance, every little detail. It is all there for the taking, and it's just suspended, and it's an eerie feeling when you, it's more than hearing the speaker. You're experiencing like it's like sensory overload, because you're just like, that is so real sounding. So there's that. Now, at the same time, similar to what John was saying, is going from the super minis to the line forces. You take a look at, okay, well, we have the same drivers. Is this going to be the little brother of this speaker? No. There is some similar DNA between the two, but the line forces, for me, it was just like, and it was immediate. I didn't get the treat of hearing them in the sweet spot for the first time. I was walking around the room, but the second that they started up, the entire room came to life. I mean, the entire room started moving, and I was like, there is stuff being thrown around that those little speakers can't possibly do.
True.
Can't do that. So similar DNA in terms of speed and how quick they're able to respond, but similar to what I love so much about the NX-Extremes and even the Oticas is they have punch, and they have some weight behind some of those throws, to where I feel like you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting crazy speed, crazy detail, but you are getting enough heft and weight behind it to where it's fantastic. Now, is there as much weight as the Extremes? I don't know about that. I think that there's times where if we get into like mid bass and things like that, like you were saying, like toms and drums and things like that.
Trade-offs, yeah.
There's trade-offs. But if we're talking about somebody saying, I want the ultimate in resolution, I want all of that, then
Yeah. The only thing I would add to is kind of like a final, I guess, final thoughts of all the speakers. The Extremes, no, not the Extremes. Yeah, the Extremes. I think the Extremes are the value speaker of the bunch.
yeah, they're the value kings. Yeah, the Extremes for me,
That's a $3,000 kit.
a $3,000 kit.
And guys, if you
Plus upgrades.
that's not expensive in hi-fi.
No.
That is not expensive in hi-fi. It's really not.
Yeah.
Whereas, and they're not available now, but the big boys, the Line Force, are going to be more expensive than that.
They're real expensive.
So a lot more expensive. So, but here's the thing: any of these speakers that we reviewed, they're room dependent. I mean, you can't put those Extremes in an 8x8 box. You just can't do it.
Yeah, with any open baffle speaker, they have to be brought out into the room.
Yep.
And we have them 8 feet out in the room.
At least. Yeah.
So, the further you get them out in the room, the further away from you are from boundaries, the more
You're going to be rewarded.
boundaryless they are. It's this sound field is well beyond the realms of the boxes. There's nothing there. It's just the depth that you have them out into the room is the depth of the sound stage.
Yep.
So yeah, you can't put them in any room. But
Great speakers.
Yeah. I can't get over the precision of those line forces. I can't. I mean, the precision on those.
it's fun to watch you guys discover that, because I know what's going to happen, and everyone that's been here has echoed the exact same thing that you guys
Yeah.
have said. Tyson was here a couple weeks back, and
Yeah, he said he used the word transparent, and he doesn't use that. I paid attention to what he said. He said, I don't use that word.
Sure.
These are transparent. And I agree completely with him.
yeah,
And I don't mean to cut you off, but it's ironic that I do use the word transparent, but now I realize what it actually means.
yeah.
You have a true definition of it.
Like,
Yeah, it's like there's a level of transparency I didn't realize existed yet
oh,
until now.
so this is what a transparent speaker actually sounds like. Yeah, it's
Let's
unbelievable.
hope we can get some Neo 10s.
We'll get something.
Get something.
It'll take it may take a little time, but I'll get it the way I want it and be able to release this stuff.
Great.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else?
No, it's been a pleasure, man.
Enjoyed watching you guys have fun with it.
It's been great to meet you. Come down
Like I said,
and
I
hang
know what's
out.
going to happen. I know when I watch someone else experience it for the first time, I thought, this is going to be funny. Watch this. They're going to freak out.
Let's do some house cleaning, just because I know that people are going to ask. Interconnects that we were listening to are
That was Greg Straley's from Reality Cable.
Reality Cables. Yeah, I'll leave links down below for everybody.
He does great interconnects. They're reasonably priced interconnects.
Yeah, like a couple $100, right? Few $100.
Something like that, I think
Yeah.
so. I keep
Okay.
telling him to send me an invoice for those. He hadn't sent me an invoice yet.
He's going to send an invoice now.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, they did replace some really expensive cable that I had in there. That were really good.
Yeah.
We're using Dave Elledge's USB cable
Okay.
from PI Audio.
PI Audio. Okay.
Yep, he made that, and I think they're also sold through DB Audio Labs.
Okay.
He had those interconnect or that USB cable. Speaker cable was kind of special. I guess that's something that I'm trying.
Kind of custom, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of custom. We'll see how that works out.
Okay.
Who knows, that might become available.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Cool.
All right, man, it's a wrap, I guess.
That's a wrap, guys. We'll see you soon.